I was an on-site maintenance man at a weekly and monthly hotel. I was given a free room and received minimum wage when I was clocked in. One quiet Friday night, I went outside for a smoke. I was on the phone with my recently discovered father. We were doing our best to start a relationship and get to know each other. It was basic stuff at this point. How old are you? When is your birthday? What do you do for fun? It was getting harder to make a connection with him. It had been 20+ years and we never met face to face. As we were talking, I could feel the conversation turning quiet and the feeling he was going to say, "Well, I better get going soon." As I lit up my second cigarette, I looked out into the hotel's parking lot. I thought I'd mention a nice car in the lot, or at least say there was a Corvette in the lot. Anything to keep him on the phone a little longer and get to know him better. That's when I saw it. A metal prosthetic leg on the roof of a car. I said, "What the hell is that doing there?" My father asked how they could forget their leg on the roof of the car. I said, "Maybe they hopped in." I stood up and walked closer to the car, and noticed the leg was rocking back and forth. "That's weird," I said. "What's that?" my dad asked. I said the leg is moving on the car. He said, "Why the hell is it moving?" I said I wasn't sure and walked closer to the car to get a better look. My dad, for the first time I had ever experienced, went quiet. He didn't seem as nervous as he usually was when we talked on the phone. I said to him, "The car is rocking?" He quickly yelled, "Don't go knocking," just as I looked in the back seat of the car. I locked eyes with a naked man on top of a woman in the back seat of the car. The man yelled, "Can I help you?" I shook my head no, and turned around to walk back over to the bench. This was the first time I heard my father laugh. I asked if he heard all of that. He let out a "hell yeah, I did." I sat back down on the bench and waited for the car to stop rocking. Since I worked for the hotel, I assumed I needed to ask them to leave. My dad asked if he could listen in on the phone. I said sure. This was our first father-son bonding moment. After some time had passed and a few more cigarettes, the back passenger door opened. The man stepped out of the car with his clothes on. He stepped towards me and said, "What's your problem, man?" I stood up revealing my hotel shirt and said, "I work here, you're trespassing." He stopped and noticed I was holding my phone. He asked if I called the police. I said, "What do you think?" He turned around and ran away from the hotel, leaving the woman and the car behind. My dad could be heard laughing hysterically through the phone. He said, "I've been in my fair share of fights and I've never heard one end in what do you think with the guy running off." I said, "I've worked in hotels for a long time." As I sat back down on the bench, he asked what else I've seen and had to deal with. I started giving him a few stories when the other car door opened. I said, "Dad, we forgot about the woman." He yelled, "Oh shit, we forgot about the woman." She took out her leg and pulled herself out of the car. She had on a shirt and nothing else. Using the car door to brace herself, she squatted down and used some Taco Bell napkins to wipe herself, removing the man's donation. She then threw the napkins in the parking lot and pulled herself back in the car. She reached her arm up to the roof and grabbed her prosthetic leg. She put it back on and then put on her pants. She looked over and saw me watching her. She stood up and walked over to me. I thought, great, another screaming match. She asked me if I could bum her a smoke. My dad said, "Give her one. She needs it." I handed her a cigarette and asked if she was a guest in the hotel. She said she was, and checked in yesterday. It took me a few tries to work up the nerve and said, "You can't have sex in the parking lot." She took in a long drag and said, "Oh no, it's fine, I found that guy at the store." My father through the phone said, "Oh, so that makes it okay then." I explained to her that if she does that again, she would be told to leave. She said he told me he loved me. I said no, listen to me, this is your one free pass, next time it's an eviction without getting any of your money back. She said well, I would have taken him inside, but my mom and I are in a one bed. My dad said, holy shit, it's the dream. I said that doesn't matter, don't have sex in the hotel's parking lot. She called me a douchebag and went into the hotel. I asked my dad if he was still there. He said yes, and that was the greatest thing he's ever overheard. I said, just another day in the hotel life. We talked for another half hour or so, and hung up. That was the longest conversation I have ever had with him. To this day, he brings it up and we talk about it. I eventually met the young woman's mother and never told her about her daughter's late-night activities. But I got the feeling she had an idea about it. She also tried to set me up with her. I thought that ship had sailed, with the stranger lovin' in the parking lot. They checked out after staying with us for a month. The one good thing they did was make me and my dad a little bit closer and have a story to tell.
Some people's children.
Taco Bell wouldn't sponsor us in this video. Sub, like, comment,